Our work has always really valued equity and person-centered system reform. But our organization had really made a conscious, intentional decision to explicitly center a value of race equity and the importance of lived experience in our work. And our brand at that time simply didn't reflect those values or the fact that we really wanted to help systems make positive impact on people's lives.
A brand really communicates who you are, what you do, what your values are, what your approach is, so that the people who need your work, the ones that you want to connect with, can connect with you.
So for example, our name, which is just one element of brand, was really outdated. We were the National Council on Crime and Delinquency, and we found that we were increasingly having to help people first understand who we were and what we brought to the table, because our name created just an immediate disconnect with the kind of work that we were trying to engage folks in.
A lot of our audience knew us by one name or the other. They didn't even realize that this was the same organization. And we had, logos for different things. And we really wanted to bring that all together because it's one organization, and be able to communicate something about the breadth of the work and have a brand that could house it all.
It was clearly time. We knew it was time to rebrand when it just became very obvious that it was a barrier and a distraction to our ability and capacity to engage stakeholders in our mission. Among the first steps is really being able to articulate the why behind why you're doing this. You have to have a really good reason, just given the amount of resources that it requires. You're going to go out and talk with your funders and your partners to try and garner support for that. And so being able to articulate to them the why behind it is really important. Being able to get the support of your board of directors is really important.
It was like a 12 to 18 month plan, very deliberate, starting with research. And then the process went brand strategy. So really talking through where we were and where we wanted to go.
We talked a lot about what are the assets of the current brand that we are moving away from that we need to preserve in some form or fashion, right? Like who we are, like fundamentally our values aren't changing, right? The fundamentally what we believe in, just and humane, systems, that's not changing. What are those things that we are important to hold on to that were part of our existing brand? How do we move that forward so that people aren't seeing this as a loss, but they're seeing the new brand strategy as an evolution? Rebranding is much more than just a name change and a new logo. It is about reflection. It's about understanding who we are. It's about honoring the past while also having an eye to the future.
And for the people that we want to have this brand resonate with, what do they need to hear and see? So we did a lot of foundational work around the meaning of the brand and what we wanted to communicate to those people. So rebranding gave us one name, one set of messages, so that people could all be on the same page and communicate in the same way so that the message was consistent. And I think that was really helpful. Some of the stakeholders we care about the most are our staff and our board.
Some of the feedback that we received after we launched officially was that from staff saying, this has enabled me to talk about the work I do and to talk about this organization with a different kind of energy than I felt like I could before. People expressed pretty quickly a sense of pride in working for this organization.
It was really fun to share the new name with funders, and their reactions were so gratifying and so fun. We actually had somebody cry because she loved it so much. And, that just feels really, really good. I think both Kathy and I would lay awake sometimes in bed at night going, we've got to get this right. So getting that kind of reaction was really awesome.
We know that funders and grantees have interests that are really aligned. Nonprofit organizations, the nonprofit sector at large, wants to make impact. Funders are there to support capacity to make impact. If there is an organization that whose mission and work that you know to be impactful, and yet there are elements of their brand that are holding them back from that, supporting that kind of work is an investment in the impact. It's not just a cosmetic kind of, let's freshen up our look. It's a legitimate, valid part of strategy development.